Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And today I'm going to be doing my review of Dragon Ball Super Episode 37 English Dub review. A very good episode. This was a very good episode. I was very, very pleased about the episode. It made me want more going on to the next episode. So, very good. You always like those episodes. A lot of action and stuff. So this episode began with the start of the fight between Vegeta versus Hits. As we see in the end of the episode, Hit was getting ready to go to the ring. Vegeta was getting ready. They stare each other down. They start the fight, and you get Hit. Vegeta's like, he says he's got confidence and stuff like that, nothing I can't handle. He powers up right away to Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, or Super Saiyan Blue. Hit is just like, you should surrender. And it's like, wait, what? He said you surrender? Like, Vegeta won't surrender. So, I guess Vegeta starts fighting. Like, he goes for a shot, and Hit disappears, and then Hit like punches him, and Vegeta's like, what just happened? What happened? Like, where did he go? And he gets up, tries to go for it again. He gets punched in the neck this time, and Vegeta just doesn't know what the hell's going on. And he's, this keeps going on. Vegeta is getting punched. The Hit's disappearing. Vegeta doesn't know where he is. Is this mirror reflections? Is this, an advanced version of instant transmission? Like, no one knew what this was, or a fighting version of instant transmission. No one could tell. Jocko didn't know, because Goku asked Jocko at one point, like, if he could see anything. No one could see anything. No one knew what was going on. And, we didn't know what was going on. Hits just basically telling him, you gotta surrender, and he's not gonna surrender. So then he goes, he's thinking about what he's doing, if he's this, if he's, doing this, waiting for his hits, that must mean that he's weak on strength. And Vegeta tried exploiting that, and he eventually does catch his arm, but it's all for naught because Hit then gets out of there and, somehow hits him even further in his gut. When Vegeta looked like he was going to try to finally get the upper hand. That doesn't work out, and Hit eventually takes him out. There was even one point in the match where Vegeta was like, "You're gonna mock me," it was classic, when he was gonna go for the energy, because Hit has this stance, and this stance just like, Vegeta just didn't know how to like defend against it. He just couldn't go up against it, and so Hit knocks out Vegeta, and powers out of Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, and Hit basically tells the referee is like, there's no killing rule, right? You better check him because I don't think he can say surrender right now. Looks at him, and that's it. Knockout victory. Hit's declared the winner. Hit also states that this is the most damage that he's brought upon someone that lived to tell about it, basically. So, yeah. After the fight, everyone's shocked. During the fight, too, we sort of got a tease on what this ability might be, because Beerus basically said, oh, of course, another fighter that Champa has that's using a secret ability. At this point, I thought, okay, maybe Hit's cheating like Frost or something, because, he stated that, but that wasn't the case at all, as we find out later. So, that was what Beerus said. Champa had like a grin on his face. After when Vegeta lost, Champa was all happy. Goku tells Trunks, or I think Gotenks and Trunks did it on their own, But Goku ended up telling them to go get a Senso Beam to Vegeta. Which is really weird because you would think Goku would have given himself a Senso Beam, because, like, he had fought earlier and stuff like that. Kind of looked a little out of it there, Yeah, so he needed a Senso Beam to freshen himself up. So they don't actually show the Senso Beam, Vegeta being given a Senso Beam, but I assume they did. So Vegeta, is just, he's pissed at this point, like, because he lost. And you know how Vegeta gets pissed when he loses, because he's a sore loser. This has been dating back since Dragon Ball Z. He's a sore loser. He's about to be even more of a sore loser when he finds out what happens later on in this episode, of course. Goku goes up to Jocko and, like, asks, like, what he could do, and he doesn't know for sure, but he's using supersonic speed and disappearing, and Goku's like, well, so basically it's kind of like instant transmission, and he's like, only maybe an advanced, version of it. But that's not what it was at all. It was finally determined by the Galactic Patrol King, Octopus thing, that he suggested that it could possibly be time skipping. Now, when I heard of the term time skipping, I was thinking, if he's skipping time, that means he must be older than what he was before he did it, because time skipping is skipping through different time dimensions, through different times. But that doesn't seem really what Hit is doing. Hit is like teleporting himself from a different time projection 10 seconds into the future. And apparently this is a technique that this is the mighty sacred technique that not many people know about. Only gods, I guess, like Beerus and Whis can know this. Apparently the Galactic King. And it sort of makes sense, since the Galactic King should know this, since this is an absolute violation of Galactic Patrol. However, Bulma actually gets on Jocko about this and says, well, why aren't you arresting him? Because didn't you say that this is a felon in offense, a federal offense or whatever, a galactic offense, when you manipulate time? And Jocko just responds that that's out of his jurisdiction, so it's not the case at all. Now, basically, this time-skipping ability that Hit has, basically he can disappear with 1/10 of a second, which isn't that much, but it's enough to really fool out his opponents. So they figure this out. Now, Goku figures this out and knows this knowledge, but he still doesn't totally know exactly where he's going to go and how it's going to work. So he had to figure that out on his own. So Goku, he's getting ready for, his match, because he's the next one in, because he's back in this tournament now due to Frost's cheating victory, because he cheated. And that's why Goku, the hope of the universe, is back in this tournament, because of Frost's cheating ways. Anyways, so Goku then, he looks at, first, Goku passed Vegeta, and Goku gives wants to get some advice, and Vegeta just basically says win. That's all he says. He gives a typical Vegeta answer. Goku's like, oh, that's no fun, stuff like that. And so then Goku, the first thing he does is he bows and, does the, hand gesture thing, out of respect. And, Hit's like, aren't you going to power up? And he's like, no, I like to feel out my opponents first. And so, he basically, Goku does a stance, and Hit basically, Hit says, you must be young, or something like that. And Goku said, I'm actually, a grandfather. And he is like, well, that's young for someone that's 1,000 years old, so Hit's 1,000 years old. So he's like, oh, well, I guess so. And so Goku starts doing a couple of different punch shots that don't connect with Hit because he wants to know what Hit is able to do. And then, Goku says he finally he thinks he figured it out. Hit believes he's bluffing, of course, and I'm like, Goku doesn't bluff. Goku knows what he's doing. He's the superhero. Of course he's going to know what's happening once he figured that out. And so then he goes for the shot. Hit disappears, and Goku has his arms all ready for defense, and so he punches the arms, and so it don't work. He blocks it, and Goku knows how to do it, and it was a couple times too. But after this, this leads to Goku punching Hit in the cheek, and he actually gets a cut. Hit believes it's a lucky shot, and Goku's like, let's see that, let's see if it was. And so Hit tries to do his maneuvers again. Goku blocks it. So it's really getting good. It's really getting intense. Once Vegeta starts seeing this, he's pissed. You could tell Vegeta is so salty that my boy Goku's gonna get it. He's got it again, man. He's the man. So I'm talking about, man. He is the man. Vegeta might get the most wins in this tournament, but Goku's gonna get the most significant win in this tournament. Also, a couple things else that happened this episode. Minaku got out of his, I don't know what you call it, but got out of his knockout unconscious state for a brief second. This was during the Vegeta fight, but when Vegeta powered up the Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan, he went right back into it. I only mentioned this in this episode because of what happens later while Goku is fighting, and that is basically Whis and Beerus are talking, and Whis basically blurs out the truth, and Piccolo of course hears it because Piccolo can hear. If you guys remember, actually Piccolo was actually pretty close to Beerus and Whis, so it was probably easier for him to make out. But for anyone who doesn't remember from the Dragon Ball Z Android saga, Piccolo he has ears that can hear from very, very long distance, as he was able to hear Goku, in future Trunks, and that's how he was able to know what was going on for the androids and stuff like that. So Piccolo heard Beerus and Whis, and he heard what Whis said, and basically what Whis said was that Beerus wasted a roster spot so Vegeta and Goku could get motivated, or get more motivated, I don't know, by knowing that this character, Minaku, isn't really that stronger than them. As a matter of fact, he's, according to Whis, an amateur, but he used him to get them more motivated for the fights, so that they would motivate themselves to, get stronger, or, beat the other competitors, knowing that there was a fighter, that was being saved for last, that was stronger than Goku or Vegeta. But in reality, Minaku is, I guess, an amateur. And it sort of makes sense since, he cried when Goku punched him. I personally think it was stupid on Beerus' part. I get what he was trying to think of, but that's risky because if these guys get knocked out, then guess what? Minaku ain't gonna do anything. Namaku ain't gonna do anything for him. So, especially since if Goku loses this fight, then that wouldn't, be good for Beerus either. At this point. And Piccolo's like, so that's what happened. So, I think that was a bad call on Beerus' part. So, anyways, Hit, after realizing that, Goku basically explains, that he's time skipping and, he's figured out his strategy and stuff like that. And so now Hit's like, okay, now we're going to get serious. And Goku's like, yeah, now we're getting serious. So he has his stance already. He's probably going to go Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan in the next episode. And I'm assuming Hit... I'm assuming Hit knows that Goku can go Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, even though he hasn't done it yet in front of Hit, because he knew that Vegeta could do it. And obviously he knows Goku can go Super Saiyan, Vegeta can go Super Saiyan, so he probably thinks that they can both do the same thing. So now we got a good fight, but I do believe Goku in the next episode, man, he's going to power up and he's going to take Hit down with the Kamehameha, because he's the hope of the universe. He's got to win the fight for Beerus, so planet Earth can stay in Universe 7. You know what I mean there. I don't know if I covered this in the last review, but there was also a couple new highlights for the theme song, and there's a completely new ending theme as well. The premiere versions don't show them in English. I don't even think the ending was... The ending, I don't know if they edited it yet for Toonami or not, the ending, because I know the first ending was in English. I'm not sure if they... I think they did it for the second one, but I don't know if they've done it for the third one yet. Not that it matters, they don't use them. I don't think they put them on the DVDs, which I think is stupid, by the way. DVD and Blu-ray. But, I was checking the first one. I don't think they did. Yeah, like I said, at the end of the episode, I was like, oh my god, I want more. Like, it's awesome episode. So, very happy with the episode. I do have to note something here, though. For anyone who is excited for this episode next week, unfortunately, Toonami has announced that they're doing a holiday marathon again for Halloween, even though it's not actually a holiday, it's an occasion, and even though we all consider it a holiday because it's a cool holiday, it's not actually a holiday because there is school on it, therefore it cannot be a holiday. But they're not having a marathon, and it doesn't even land on Halloween. Saturday doesn't even land on Halloween. It's so this year, so it's so stupid. It's so dumb, and they take off. Like, I don't get it. Like, because they do this every year. They take off for Easter. They don't take off for. I'm sorry, they don't take off for Easter, and Easter is a holiday, but they do take off. They do take off for Halloween, even though Halloween's not an actual holiday. I don't understand that logic. It's not actually a holiday, though. I guess Easter's technically not a federal acknowledged holiday, but Halloween's not a holiday at all. So I don't understand the logic. Easter's more of a holiday than Halloween is. Halloween is an occasion that we all treat as a holiday because it's awesome, because you get candy and stuff like that and you scare people. But I don't understand why they do it, especially since it doesn't land on Halloween. If it landed on Halloween, I would understand why they would have a marathon instead. But since Halloween doesn't land on Saturday and Sunday, it would have made more sense for them not to have done that and just show the new episodes in the regular lineup. But so, yeah, there will be no new episode of Dragon Ball Super next week, which means we won't get another new episode of Dragon Ball Super until November, for anyone who's wondering about that. So, yeah, it really stinks because, I was really looking forward to this fight. Well, I actually am looking forward to this fight when it does come, but it won't come until another 2 weeks. So, yeah, it is very unfortunate. But, like I said, this episode was very good. Liked it and enjoyed it. Can't wait for when the episode 39 comes out. To see Goku, power up and take out this Hit guy, because we all know Goku's gonna do it because he's the main man, the superhero, and the hope of the universe. Yeah. If only we had the Falconer music, though. Not getting that, though. But don't worry, because Ally to Good, Nightmare to You will, take care of him. Anyways. Good episode. Like the fight scenes. I liked the explanations that they're giving. And, kind of a little upset with, one thing with Jaco was funny, but at the same time, I was like, even if it was in his quote-unquote jurisdiction, I doubt very highly Jaco was going to arrest Hits, because Hits is an assassin, as they said. He's an assassin, and, they said that his targets never, get free. He has a 100% success rate, which is pretty interesting. Very curious to know who Hit's Universe 7 counterpart is, since we don't know who that would be. Hit's very interesting, actually. I'm very curious to see what he is, I don't know if he's a villain or if he isn't, because he's an assassin. He takes jobs, obviously, so he's sort of a bounty hunter, really. He's a bounty hunter assassin, because bounty hunters are people that, they go after money. They go after taking down wanted people that, they get money for. So, he's more of a bounty hunter, really. But they call him an assassin because he searches and tries to kill these wanted people, or does. So that's kind of more of what Hit is. Now, I do want to note something too about this Hit character, because I just found this out recently. If you play Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Hit is a downloadable character, and apparently in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, the voice actor is different from the current Hit in the dub. I do not know why this happened. I do not know if this was Christopher Sabat's Funimation, or if it was Toei deciding this. Obviously, the video game license are different from the dubs, but typically it's all handled by Sabat Studios, so I would have imagined they would have kept the same voice, especially since this is a new character, and they did the same for Champa and Vaduz. So I don't know why, for the video game they decided, for Hit in particular, they decided to recast. The video game, obviously, Xenoverse 2 was the first chance we got to see any or hear any of the English voices of some of these new characters, because obviously the dub wasn't starting to get worked on until after the video game. Again, licensings are different for the video games to the anime, which is the video game was already licensed for the English market, which is why it came out before the dub did. So I was informed about this. Like I said, I don't know what the explanation is. I don't know why. Or maybe the guy who did Xenoverse for Hit, maybe he was unavailable. Maybe he couldn't do the role anymore. I don't know why, but maybe there's something happened and he couldn't do it anymore. But it's going to be interesting, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are going to like the video game guy over maybe the guy who's currently doing the anime, or vice versa. But it will be interesting to see what happens now for Dragon Ball Fighter Z, which is the next video game, which obviously is getting an English dub as well, to see if Hit's voice actor from Xenoverse 2 will be doing it still, or if it will be the Dragon Ball Super Hits English voice actor. I'm not exactly too sure, and that's why I wanted to point this out, because a lot of people might be that have played as Hit in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 might be confused to maybe why his voice is a little bit different in the anime, in the English dub anime. This is why it was a cast change. Like I said, we don't know the details on why this happened or why this was decided. Like I said, this is the first time where a video game had new characters on it that were ultimately going to be in the new Dragon Ball Super that, you know, we didn't know about. So it was really different because the English dub had to cast, you know, characters in a video game, you know, that's ultimately going to be the voice of the character in the new series, you know. So it's a kind of a little different situation. So there could have been things like that, you know, too. You know, it's a very you know, different situation that probably, you know, Bandai never had to, you know, endure before, you know, when it comes to the English dub, you know, of dubbing the new characters that haven't been in Dragon Ball Z and now are in Dragon Ball Super, the anime, and you have to, like, get those voices from the video game. Obviously, Hits was changed, but it didn't happen for Champa or Vadu, so I don't know. I don't know if any other characters' voices have been changed from Xenoverse 2 to the anime, or if ultimately they will. There's going to be a lot of new characters coming in very soon, so who knows. But this is the first instance where this happened, so I did want to bring this up, too, for people that are wondering about that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about that, too, by the way, because I do want to know what you guys think about the voice change. All of a sudden from the video game Xenoverse 2 to the anime version voice of Hit for English. As well as your thoughts on this review altogether, because this, you know, like I said, was a very awesome episode. Comment, rate. If you like this video and my other videos, please subscribe. All my reviews will be in my playlist in the description box. Adult Swim stream site is where you can watch the English dub. I've kind of explained that already. I'll put that, like I said, that will be in the description box as well. All the groups for Google Plus for Dragon Ball Z English dub, as well as Dragon Ball Super English dub for English dub fans only group community. So you guys can check that out. Comment, rate, if you like this video and my other videos, please subscribe, and that's about it, guys. I am the SS Ultimate Goku, and I'm out of here. Peace.